Good morning and welcome. I'm Jessa Zinn. I am the founder of the Zinn method. I help people to understand body literacy, how to listen into your body to make the changes to move and feel better. Good morning and welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Today we are discussing why do my hamstrings feel tight even if they're not tight. So what does that mean? A lot of times we experience tight hamstrings, or what we assume are tight hamstrings. We feel like we can't touch our toes. It comes in, we feel a tightness behind our legs. And most of the time we've stretched them and maybe gone to a ton of yoga classes and done all the things that we know to do, and they're still tight. So what do you do then? We pull back the lens and we look at what's the pattern behind that tightness. Are the hamstrings actually tight, the muscle itself? Or could it be that the fascia that surrounds it is what's tight, the container? So today we're going to assess, release, and activate so that you can finally get some relief, some opening, and some different questions to ask, some different information around what's going on in your body. So let's start with assessment. Come lie on your back. Grab a rope, a strap of some sort. I have a yoga strap. A bathrobe works perfectly fine. Good. And I lasso your foot and lift your right leg up. Good. I have to put my glasses on to see if I'm in the camera. I am. Great. And now notice, without lifting the left leg, how far up naturally can your leg go? If you don't have a strap, don't sweat it. You can do this without. Just lie on the ground with me right now. Good. And notice, again, how far up the leg comes straight without lifting the opposite leg. Good. We're going to reassess this at the end. So opening up that joint capsule. So the top of the hamstrings is actually at your sit bone, the top of the femur bone. So holding onto the strap, rotate out and rotate in. Rotate out. Imagine you have a steering wheel on that foot, and we're just releasing some of the strain, some of the stickiness, some of the congestion in that hip socket, right where your femur bone comes into your pelvis. External rotation, internal rotation, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Two more. Good. Rotate the toes out, bring the leg across the body, line up the right heel with the left hip, hold on with the opposite hand if you're using a strap, bend and straighten the leg. So just a few inches of a bend. Keep fighting for that external rotation of that right leg. Good. 3 more. 2. And 1. Beautiful. Bring that leg back up and release. And now lower that leg. Feel the difference already between the right and the left side, just by warming up that joint capsule. Now, also still in our assessment stage, still in our mapping stage, hold on to the left foot with the strap, rotate out, rotate in. Again, we're being really mindful and intentional about not lifting that right leg up. So we're not doing this in order to get the leg closer to us. Anchor that right leg. The left leg could come out as far as it needs to. Rotate out and rotate in. Flexion through the ankles so your foot is as flat as can be. Toes are reaching towards you. Back and forth. Good. 3 more. Really fighting for that external rotation at the top of the hip. Externally rotate that foot out, point the foot out, cross it. Ooh. Bring that left foot heel above right hip, bend and straighten. Bend and straighten. Bend and straighten. Micro bending, not a huge bend. Just a couple inches. 2 more. Beautiful. Release and feel, just by opening up the joint capsule, where are your thighs now in relationship? Good morning. Thank you for all the waves. In relationship to the floor. Now grab your foam roller. If you don't have a foam roller with you today, grab books, grab blocks, grab a pillow. Lift your butt up. Bring it across the butt. So we're not in the low back, but right across the cushiony part of the butt. You'll feel your sacrum. And now extend that right leg. And we're looking to open up the front part of the leg. Good. So often, if our hamstrings are locked short, instead of going to that area, instead of going to the hamstring, we want to open up the environment around, right? So we're opening up our hip flexor muscles. A lot of us sit all day long, and these muscles get tight, these muscles get short, and they are in relationship to our hamstrings. So we want to encourage the front body to open so that we can then move on and address the posterior, the back body. Point and flex your toes. You can't see them here in my camera, but point and flex, really allowing that whole right side to open. Find your breath. Good. And now circle that foot. Make a big circle, one direction, looking for those outer edges of the movement, and then the opposite direction. Good. And release, bring that leg in, extend through your left leg. And just really feel that whole front compartment, the hip flexor compartment, the front part of the hip open. And then again, point and flex the foot. Breathe in. So just 15 minutes a day of fascia release on a regular basis, you're going to change the container of the body. And if you change the container, when you go to stretch your muscles, when you go to load your muscles, there's more accessibility, there's more availability. We can open and load better. Translation, more mobility, more strength, same amount of effort. Circle the foot. Circle the foot. Big circle. Fight for those outer ranges of movement. Where can you reach in each direction? Just slightly farther. And then the opposite direction. Breathing. Good. And now bring that left ankle over the right knee. Roll to the left and come back up. Releasing the glutes. Roll to the left and come back up. Roll to the left and back. 2 more. Last one. Pause. Lift that right hip point towards the ceiling. Press into that right foot. Breathing all the while. Come back up. Change sides. So this is what we learn inside my membership. Come to the right and back up. How do we map? Self-assessment. How do we release? And then finally, how do we activate to stabilize and integrate? 3 more. My right side is far more tender today than my left. So be it. We tend to want to pathologize these changes. It's just our body telling us what we need on any given day. I'm not sure why my right side's more tender today, but I know that I need to pay a little bit more attention to it. Good. Stay here and hold 3 breaths. One more. And release. Finally, moving on to our hamstrings. Bring the foam roller behind the butt. Extend the right leg and windshield wiper that leg. So we cross fiber stretch or cross fiber release. Compress down into the foam roller. You have 3 hamstrings. Find that topography. Good. Move the foam roller to the middle of the thigh. Same deal, back and forth, compressing as you windshield wipe. Cross fiber, back and forth. Good. And then one more. Same deal. At the bottom of the hamstrings towards the top of the knee, it gets a little bit harder to do. Just know that it's not you. It is awkward. Good. And then take the foam roller all the way back up. Bend the right leg, extend the left, windshield wiper, compressing and movement. Compression and movement, back and forth. 3 hamstrings. We're going over all that topography. And as we do this, roll to the middle. As you compress, you help to bring hydration and fluids back into dehydrated tissue. A lot of times what we experience as tight is dehydration, and I want you to drink all your water. Drink the water, keep your Stanley cup, but do fascia release for hydration of your tissues, please. And last roll. Again, awkward above the knee, not you. That is just anatomy. Good. And release. Remove the foam roller. A quick assessment. Extend your legs. Feel how much closer to the floor they are. Feel how much more open the front of your hip flexors are. And then our last movement, our activation, bend the legs, press into the feet, pull the heels towards you. So just make that movement and release. Pull the heels towards you, activating the hamstrings and release. Last one. Now keep that. Press into the feet. Heels are pulling towards you. Lift the butt up, pull the heels, engage glutes, 3 breaths. Lift the hips. We're not moving into extension, so it's just a lifting engagement. Pull the feet towards you. Good. And release. Grab your strap. Lasso the foot. As we began, so we finish. Feel, is your left leg closer to the floor as you lift the right leg up? Do you have more range of motion in that right leg? Rotate out and rotate in. Does that feel more coordinated? Good. Release. Change sides. Extend your right leg. Again, is there less space underneath that right leg? Is there more range of motion in the left? Rotate out and in. Good. And release. Thank you so much for joining me today. Please feel free to DM me with any questions at all about the membership, about fascia, about posture. This month we are doing the posture challenge at the end of the month. I hope you can join us. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next week. Have a good one.